Hey friends, Matt Burns here, bringing you your monthly real estate market update for March 2024. And we have some very important changes that have been made by New York State. It's going to be affecting both buyers and sellers and going into effect this month. So you need to be made aware of it. Let's get into it.
Real estate success without the BS.
Existing home sales have been depressed since late 2022 and really just bouncing along the bottom ever since. And if we look at pending home sales, it's just another way to view the same problem. Instead of closed transactions, it measures contract signings, which gives us really a sneak peek into the next month or two's existing home sales potential. I've attached that graph in my email, so have a look at that. But for those of you that have the audacity to just watch my videos on YouTube and maybe aren't email subscribers, the gist of it is the numbers are low. And we've been bouncing up and down slightly really since we fell off the cliff in 2022. And we've talked about record low inventory every month now, the reasons for it, etc. Believe me, I'm tired of talking about it and reporting on it, but it's one of the main drivers of the market we're in. So I got to keep you posted on where we're at. And speaking of reasons for low inventory, let's talk about mortgage rates. We're hovering just over 7% right now. The most popular 30-year fixed rate mortgage was in the sixes back in January, but inflation report and jobs report pushed us back into territory that we haven't seen since November of last year. So really no meaningful relief for buyers yet on the mortgage front, and also enticing homeowners that locked in rates in the 3s and 4s a few years ago to take their chips off the table and to really sell in the numbers that we'll need to free up enough inventory to really level the playing field between buyers and sellers. And this knocks on to home prices. In the Northeast, we saw 7.5% year-over-year increases between December of 2022 and December of 2023. With not much change in inventory and rates, you can really bet that the spring market is going to give prices another run for their money. The king of economic laws is supply and demand, and it keeps ruling court. Now, the big news affecting both buyers and sellers. First, a little bit of history. The property condition disclosure is a form that home sellers must fill out and give to prospective purchasers. And it sets all the known defects of the property being sold onto paper. And there was a penalty for those who elected to not provide the property condition disclosure. And if you did so, you had to give a $500 credit to the purchasers at closing. So many sellers in the state chose to just give the $500 rather than providing the disclosure and potentially exposing themselves to liability against any misrepresentations if the answer in the disclosure proved to be incorrect. And electing to give the $500 has been business as usual for sellers over the last 20 years. And it's what I coached all of my seller clients to do. So buyers and purchasers have really conducted their own due diligence and relied on their own private inspections and then negotiating for any defects that are found from the inspection in the contracts. And gone are those days as of the 20th of this month. That liability can no longer be avoided by giving the purchaser $500. And a seller who willfully does not give that disclosure is liable for actual damages suffered by the purchaser post-closing, in addition to equitable and statutory remedies. And in addition to getting rid of the $500 opt-out, they've also added 7 new flood-related questions so that sellers are now required to disclose flood risk information to purchasers. So sellers must complete this 55-question disclosure to the best of their knowledge and provide a copy to buyers before contract signing. And for sellers, this adds a new layer of complexity and risk when selling your home. And I strongly suggest talking with a real estate expert and a real estate attorney before filling out this form. For buyers, this is not meant to be a replacement for hiring an inspector, but it is something that you'll want to ask for from the sellers or their real estate agent that's representing them before making an offer, or at the very least before going into contract. So a lot to unpack here. I've brought you up to speed on the data and these important changes that are going into effect this month. You've got your informational ammunition now, but you've got to avoid the minefields, and this is a new minefield put in front of you. So I want you to strategize if you're planning on making a move. Buying or selling, he or she who fails to plan should plan to fail. So please reach out to a great real estate agent to get a battle plan in place. As you guys know, I'm a seasoned veteran in these streets, and I'd be happy to be your general. But if you or someone you know wants to settle for less, best of luck to you in the wars to come. For my email newsletter subscribers, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the featured listings email. Oh, and happy St. Patrick's Day.